The idea that we can be without electricity is something that a lot seems to think that it is easy as heck, that it can turn off the lights and that is it. Well, I'm here to tell you that that is not the truth. The truth of the matter is that without the lights, well, let's just say that the population is going to decrease significant. And I'm going to give you some hard numbers so you can understand how much we depend on the lights being on. First of all, the majority of people keep their house warm with electricity. The majority. I'm not saying you are not doing it a different way. You may come and say, well, Billy, I'm doing it with a wood stove. Rock on. Rock on. That's a good thing. What were you going to do once you run out of wood? That's a conversation for another day. You may say, well, I'm running mine with propane. Well, same thing. What are you going to do when you run out of propane? There's only so much resources out there. Let's be honest. I know I'm painting a picture of doom and gloom, and I'm painting a picture of total darkness. But I just need you to understand that you really need to see things in the worst case scenario. Prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And the idea of the lights out and everything is going to be dandy dandy, it is not true at all. So, first of all, malnutrition. People are not going to be able to get food. Without electricity, how are they going to store food away? People don't know how to put food away the old-fashioned way. They don't know how to dehydrate. They don't know how to can. They don't know how to, they can't even freeze dry. Canning. Have you ever come across somebody canning that is not being done in a propane stove or a electric range? Very few people know how to can on a fire. Very few people know how to can on coals. They just don't. It is a lost art. Now, some do, but the grand majority of people do not. And that's what those hard numbers that I mentioned before comes in. 1 month without lights. Guess how many people will just not make it? Between 5 to 10% of population. Without electricity, well, those who need health care are not going to make it. Without electricity, well, you can't run those machines that help you make medicine. A lot of people will say, well, we go to traditional medicine. Yes, definitely, that's an option. But do you know how to do it? Not a lot of people know how to do it. Well, that's the thing. The other thing is, without lights, and I'm just talking now about lights, imagine how many people would just lose their mental well-being. They will go crazy because they will be in darkness during the night. Yeah, of course, you're going to have flashlights and this and that, but you're going to run out of batteries eventually. Those little solar panels are going to stop one day. Nothing is to be forever. The candles, you're going to run out of candles. That is if you don't burn your house down first, because that happens. You know, prior to the light bulb, the majority of fires happen because what? Candles. They don't tell you those type of things, but I am telling you that. So, the social isolation that you're going to have is going to play greatly into your psychic. Greatly. You gotta understand something. There is something called cabin fever here in Alaska because a lot of people have to stay indoors for a long time during winter because the winters are so harsh. Imagine that worldwide. Now, I will say this: not everybody was created equal. Some people will thrive. Rock on. But what about those who do not? How about those who start getting suicidal thoughts? How about those who start thinking about doing bad things? And they do bad things not just to themselves, but to others. So you have to keep that in mind. So imagine now that we're not 1 month, but we are 3 months into this total darkness. Guess how much of a percentage of population will not make it. 15 to 30% will not make it. 3 months, and now we're losing 15 to 30% of population. Why? Well, let's say that if you're a diabetic, you don't have your medication, you're not going to make it. High blood pressure, you're not going to make it. And those are just to name two that come to mind right now. People are going to have to change their lifestyle. The loss in routine is going to play a big role into a lot of families. The increased demand for manual labor that people are not used to anymore. People are not used to getting manual tools and go and, till the land. Make it so. They're not accustomed to take care of animals. It's a lot better to go to the supermarket and get that chicken. Well, guess what? That chicken ain't no longer in the supermarket. So they're going to have to learn how to work with their hands. Not a lot of people want to do that. Not a lot of people know how to do that. Not a lot of people are capable of doing that. The community dynamics is going to change. You need to prove now to me your worth. Because otherwise, I don't need you around. If you're not giving me something that I need, why do I need you around my property? You see what I'm saying? Why would I give you a plate of food if your labor is not giving me any benefits? Now you see what I'm saying? So there is a great potential there for conflict. Because you want that plate of food. You want what I have, but you didn't prepare. Because you didn't thought it was necessary. But now you're coming to me demanding that plate of food that I don't feel that you deserve. Because you didn't work hard enough. Conflict now rises. You see what I'm saying? So this now extends to beyond the 3 months. Let's say 6 months. With conflict on the rise. And now people's survival instincts kicking in. Meaning that I got to do what it takes to survive. Because the poop finally hit the roof. And this is it. Well, I will say that between 30 to 50% will not make it. So we now talking with the lights out 6 months into a scenario where there's no lights, there's no electricity, at least 50% of the population will not make it. Now my question to you is, what are your plans? Because a lot of people can say it will never happen. Well, guess what? I have been told that what happened in Cuba will never happen here. And guess what? It is happening here. We see corruption. We see government taking over everything. We see our rights being taken away. We see a potential for that time that you go and cast. They don't matter. We see communists coming our way. And unless the people put their pants on and tie the belts and remember that our history is full of great people who have fought tooth and nails to defend our country, we will lose it. And we will become a third world country and a socialist country at that. So, with the lights out, I'm telling you all, the greater chance that they will have to make this so. So you need to be as prepared as possible. Now, I sound like a broken record. I tell you all the time, prepare, prepare, prepare. I still see people not preparing. I still see people saying, you're just crazy. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Is that what you think? Bless your heart, and I hope that you are right. Unfortunately, we all know that you're not. Unfortunately. So, imagine now those around you. If you are a group of 10, well, 5 of those may not make it. Imagine that. And let me know in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.